Who are you? Because they cannot look away. All right, there is a hypnotic fascination, and I heard fixation. Okay, so there's a hypnotic fixation on you. Okay, this is going to be a very interesting reading. I've been really, really looking forward to this message just because the other day chronostasis kept coming up, and chronostasis as an effect is basically where the eyes try to adjust to changes that have happened in the external realm. And it almost is like a recalibration that has to happen where somebody's point of reference completely shifts. So it's like, for example, the big hand on a clock, if you look away and then you look back at it, it's like your eyes will try to kind of like backtrack, right? It's like your brain tries to adjust to the shifts that have happened in the external realm. And that's the effect that you have on others, right? And I kept getting a message in regards to, right, who would chronostasis be if it were a person? And we're going to talk about that today. But most importantly, after that, there was like a huge energy around you in regards to, okay, if this is your energy, what are you attracting your way? Because this is a very, very potent, okay, I'm hearing highly concentrated level of awareness, okay, conscious awareness that I'm speaking to. And you got that confirmed with judgment, right? Judgment is literally, as a person, it's someone that walks into a room and everybody notices. Their energy announces them before their words ever have to, okay? It literally is somebody who you're drawn towards on a soul level, and it's just an indescribable feeling. Okay, I'm hearing you are literally an indescribable feeling. Pluto is the psyche, it's the interface of where your non-physical essence meets the physical, but it's almost as if your soul speaks 1,000 words in your, I'm hearing, silent aura. So it's definitely a very, very powerful energy, right? It's very, very potent. Anyway, this is like literally others having this calling. It literally is a confession energy, and that's double clarified, right? With Pluto, you had Pluto come out too, which talks about unavoidable transformation. So you are definitely, first of all, just someone who may. I'm going to just talk about you first of all, and then we'll talk about how you're being perceived. But you're definitely a very, very, deep soul. Pluto is somebody who is actually in alignment with finding a new soul tribe. So you could definitely feel like you've been the reject. You can definitely feel like, you are the outcast in some way, that you were made to feel very, very different, because the energy of Pluto talks about this is an unavoidable transformation that is occurring not just within you, but is also, I'm hearing, making others maybe even feel uncomfortable in your presence, because Pluto is raw. You can't hide from Pluto. When Pluto looks you in the eye as a person, they see directly into your soul. And the confrontation with somebody's own truth, with somebody's own shadow, may feel very, very uncomfortable if they're not ready to face it, okay? And they're showing me the synchronous rotation. So for those who don't want to see, for those who don't want to be shown at this stage in their journey, yeah, people will either feel with Pluto here a magnetic pull towards you, even to a level of, again, like fixation, or they'll feel a very strong aversion to your energy, okay? That's the essence, all right, that you hold. Okay, I'm hearing that as the key that you hold. So you could just be a huge walking trigger. And again, it may be your biggest gift because you have Photon. Photon talks about it is time to shine. This is your light, right? Pluto talks about, a new network that you're actually being guided to. Maybe these are experiences as well that you felt like you've had to eject yourself from, or experiences where you feel like you've been rejected in some way as well with Pluto. And then you have DNA, and it's because of a memory that you have, right? It's almost like you remember. It's like the way that you look at someone, it's just you remember something that they may not, and that could be incredibly intimidating. It is quite an intimidating energy, unless there is nothing to hide, unless you're okay with being, I'm hearing, transparent or translucent, and you have integrated and you're one with your shadow. And then you have pulsar. So this is a short and intense meeting that people could have with you. Maybe you come in and out of people's lives, because this is like a death and rebirth energy, right? Where you could literally be the soul review, right? It's almost like you could be the soul review. You may ask the questions that others try to avoid. You may say things that I'm hearing are deeply enriching for the soul, but it's not necessarily what the ego always wants to hear. And that's what judgment is, okay, as a person. So it's super, super interesting. But yeah, this talks about time to shine with photon, a luminescent or electromagnetic energy that is produced, transmitted, and absorbed. So you're definitely sending transmissions, not ones that everyone is ready to receive, right? Not all extensions and mirror reflections of yourself, but you are a powerful catalyst, okay, a transformational powerhouse. And let me think about this. Pluto is a person when they come into your life. It's a time of upheaval. It's a time of deep internal, I'm hearing recalibration, confrontation, and really it's a trigger point. You know, it is, let me think about the way to word this. It's the trigger that sets you free. It is a point of destabilization that becomes your biggest reason for your next transformation. And there's something about you mysteriously, and you're very hard to read, by the way, as well. You're very hard to read with Pluto here in so many ways. Very mysterious, a walking enigma, if you will. So yeah, the time has come to celebrate though this highly positive process. You are attracting new experiences and opportunities your way as a result of staying true to this essence. And we're going to talk about this, right? So yeah, that's what photon is. Time to shine. It's like you can't hide your light even if you tried. You can't suppress or repress, right? With Pluto, this essence that's deeply encoded into, again, DNA, just a part of who you are. You cannot. So who are you? They can't look away. The person that I would like relate this to is the lady in the red dress in the Matrix, and it's like you are the lady in the red dress in their Matrix, right? Because we're talking about an internal Matrix. And this person is a glitch, you know, you are an activation point essentially. And it is the pause in the simulation. It is the person that comes into somebody's life and makes them question the construct of this reality, right? Or even like their purpose, and the purpose of existence. It's not someone who, if let's think about this. If you invite Pluto to like a dinner party, right? And he's seated at the dinner table, she's seated at the dinner table, you're going to get eighth house subjects and topics that may not feel comfortable for those who have attached to the construct of this matrix or societal norms or expectations. It's rebellion kind of energy. It's the one that says the thing that everyone is thinking, but no one vocalizes, you know? Or maybe no one's even given thought to you. It's deeply investigative energy, right? It's somebody who cannot have surface level discussions with, and it's because you're not a surface level person, babe. Like literally, it's that kind of energy. It's someone who, you know, eighth house energy is taboos, is the occult, it's mysticism, it's divination, it's you know, death, it's taxes, it's marriage, it's sex, it's all these like deep topics that they say not to bring up at the dinner table. And this is just wrapped in your aura, right? This is like the cloak that you wear, you know? It's almost like it's that kind of energy with you. And there's an essence that you're needing to really embody when it comes to, you know what, take me or leave me, you know? There's almost like that kind of essence of authenticity, especially because this message has come out around the new full moon in Aquarius, which is literally all about that, right? So yeah, you don't try to have this effect, you don't, but it's in your energy, right? It's like you have a transformative presence where others may feel uneasy, right? If they're not necessarily comfortable with these topics. And your vulnerability is your biggest strength. Your ability to kind of expose what I'm hearing has long been hidden in the shadow, even if this is yourself and the way that you've been kind of repressing and suppressing yourself. This is ready to come to the surface with judgment, right? This is a soul speaking to another soul, right? It's a very, very deep energy. It's transcending this human experience in some way and seeing yourself and everyone as energy. And energetic signatures are defined based upon how somebody can hold space for their truth, how somebody can hold space for their light, right? And yeah, chronostasis is very, very interesting because it's somebody that has to kind of shift their gaze. It's like you have that impact where there is a double take energy where somebody has to adjust to, oh, did you just say that? Or what are you seeing, right? It's like you're seeing some kind of layer of this invisible blueprint that we're all existing in, that everyone can tune into, right? All other fractals, expressions, and mirrored reflections of yourself, but they first must kind of dust off and sweep away the stagnant belief systems that have been clouding their perception, right? That's almost an energy that's coming through. And it's almost like you act as that, I'm hearing duster, it's almost like you come in and you kind of dust the third eye, and you speak in the language of energy and vibration, and it speaks on a soul level, right? It speaks on a cellular level with DNA. So yeah, it's a super, super interesting energy. So yeah, that's the energy as a person. And then the other analogy that was receiving around you being the red dress in the Matrix. I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's the scene where if chronostasis were a person, they'd be the paradox of presence and then also the pause, right? It's someone who walks in between the lines, in between time and timelessness, right? It's almost as if you're in this time yet. And I'm hearing like the new age, right? It's like you're in this new age, in this modern age, yet there is this ancient presence within you, right? That's definitely an energy that comes through, because judgment can almost be, again, associated even with Pluto in death, where it's not someone's first rodeo. It's someone that has had like many incarnations, many lifetimes, and is able to kind of recover memory from that has been repressed and suppressed with DNA, right? So it's almost like you remember something, you remember the construct of this matrix, and it's somebody who is a time bender in that way. It's like being in their presence makes time stand still. And it's almost like there is no need for a clock. So yeah, it's someone who is mysteriously magnetic, and you can't really put your finger on why. It's the person that enters the room and time begins to stop for a second, or time stretches, or people kind of glance twice, at you, kind of unsure if they've missed something, there's that kind of essence. It's almost like I'm hearing they're trying to match the essence with the form, that's definitely an energy. But there's this interesting energy in the disorientation, right? In the recalibration internally. There's a level of familiarity there, There's a level of calm there. There's a level of cosmos. And it's somebody that moves with that stillness, It's somebody who is almost slipped into a different timeline, almost slipped into a different lifeline, into a different lifetime, right? And because of that, they have this elusive presence, it's almost like, who are you? It's those kind of questions that people think. I'm hearing that they don't ask, but they think, and they're unsure whether you've arrived or you've already left. It's almost as if your energy lingers in rooms long after I'm hearing, physically absent. It's almost like energetically you remain present, which is super, super fascinating. So you existed in those moments between space and time, and you're like a memory. And I'm hearing a memory that someone's not really sure if they've actually lived. It's almost like an oracle who comes into your experience, and it's almost like, wait, did I dream about that person, or did I dream about that situation, or did that actually happen? It kind of gives me that essence as well. So you're also a master of transitions, unavoidable transformations is something that you've definitely had to get used to. You could definitely feel as if you're someone and resonate as somebody who's kind of in and out of people's lives, or nothing really ever sticks. I'm hearing for you. No one really ever sticks into your experience. And it's because you're going through constant transformations where reality is constantly having to mirror the internal, I'm hearing shifts that you go through, where it's almost like there's a filtration system with Pluto where you're constantly filtering into deeper truths of yourself, and that's kind of filtering deeper connections, right? Connections that serve whomever it is that you are, I'm hearing, or the energies that you're working with, within you at different stages in your journey. And there's this constant shift and evolution. There's also an unsettling insight around you. So these are the kind of people that will say something that you were thinking, right? And it's almost as if you're someone that reaches into others' futures and you kind of borrow their thoughts, or you know what it is that they're thinking about. Again, it's almost like you're reading their mind. It really is a mind reader. Pluto can also be a level of telepathy, right? Because you're able to see your interconnectedness to all things. And it's almost like you're connected to this hidden wellspring of knowledge and you're pulling and anchoring that information. And it's just someone that's, again, highly intuitive, highly psychic, highly in tune with their intuitive faculties. And because of that, there could be like haunting essence where you are the echo that continues to ripple through others' lives. It's like I'm hearing your words echo even long after your departure. It's almost like you could arrive and depart at different people's lives. And I'm hearing with pulsar, it's a short but intense time. It talks about something that happens very quickly, very powerfully, but it's almost like you arrived as quick, or you left as quickly as you arrived. So there's something unexpected in regards to you, or just you're the one that people don't see coming, right? Other reflections, it kind of reminds me of someone that's kind of been seeded onto this planet to wake up and shake up. I'm hearing others call subconscious belief systems. And when I'm talking about others and you and them, these are all other mirrored reflections and extensions of yourself. So it's almost as if you are a deity who is awoken within matter, and you're here to wake up all other extensions and expressions of yourself. And others are kind of playing catch up. It's almost like you're a mirrored reflection of so much that has happened in that short, brief period of time. And I'm hearing just others, they continue to linger on the words that you had said, right? Maybe they were only able to hear you at the time, but they reflect back to that moment that feels like a dream, and they are finally able to listen, right? Maybe they could only look at the things that you were trying to show them, but eventually we are all children sourced from the same wisdom, learning to return to that wisdom once again. And we're all children that have a part to play in the cycles. And it's almost as like, within this cosmos, the part that you played into the cycle of another extensions of yourself's life, and I'm hearing like a mark that you left in the historical timeline, completely changed their perception forever. And that's always a point of reference for them. It's like you are somebody's point of reference, and they always look back to that reference point from a different level of awareness, and they can finally see it, right? It's like they are seeing the interaction through the lens of the soul. And because of that, you're the glitch. This is literally someone that is the glitch within the matrix. It's chronostasis energy. It's somebody that comes in and they disrupt time. They kind of make you question what time and space even is. And like chronostasis, where your brain kind of freezes for a moment to catch up with reality, this is someone that causes that pause. It's somebody that causes that glitch. And the lady in the red dress, if you guys have watched The Matrix, Neo stops, right? Neo stops in that moment, and the world begins to halt, and the illusion flickers when he sees a red dress in a world full of grey. So there's something around you where you stand out in the physical construct. Maybe it's the way that you're a planted anomaly in somebody's life. It's almost as if there is no one like you. And in the Matrix, she is not real. It's like she is an illusion. She is a program that's literally designed to pull your attention away from the external and turn it back inwards. She is literally kind of here to test your awareness in some way, and how aware you are of yourself, or how conscious you are of your own a fractal of awareness and your interconnectedness to all things in this system. It's somebody that is designed to divert and pull your attention, and not necessarily pull it from the external, but to be able to pull it within, to make you question things that you wouldn't have previously. So Yeah, it's very, very interesting. And she also makes you question what's real, as a result of that. Chronostasis tricks the mind into thinking that time has stretched, right? The lady in the red dress kind of tricks Neo. And with Pluto energy, again, it is kind of like secretive. It is something that others don't see coming. And he kind of she kind of tricks Neo into observing reality. He actually begins to make observations that he wouldn't have otherwise. And when in truth, it is just code. And with DNA, it's almost like within your genetic makeup, within your code, you hold this gift. You hold this gift of being a point of awakening, and all awakening is remembering who you are and beginning to discard all the things whom you are not. So it's like you could be that point of awakening. Pluto is a person. It could be a shaman. It could be, like a kind of like a high priestess energy. It's somebody that is just deeply, I'm hearing, emotive in the way that they move through this existence, which is just energy in motion, right? It's almost like you are just energy in motion, moving as one through this existence, and you just happen to be seated in a vessel, right? And I'm hearing you're putting that to good use. So there could be like that alluring energy that you have. But yeah, chronostasis is the lady in red, right? In the red dress in the Matrix. It's somebody that kind of buys your mind time while truth begins to present itself to you. It's like truth quietly comes to you in that moment. It's an internal voice that makes you question everything that you thought that you knew. Now we get into an interesting part, right? So in this part, I was like, okay, if this is like who you are, right? Then what are you attracting into your reality as a result of that, right? I'm like, what are you even here doing on this earth? And the one oracle message that you have is Treasure Island. So let's go ahead and read it. Treasure Island talks about where X marks the spot. But this is definitely with Pluto. This isn't someone that's looking for an external map. They are the map, right? This is somebody that follows this internal path. They follow an internal knowing. And you could definitely feel like you're being guided. Yeah, you're being guided. And even if you do try to follow, I'm hearing external networks, and you listen to the messengers, okay? And all the different ways that the universe is speaking to you through everything around you, it all leads you back to your own internal cosmos. It all leads you back towards your cosmic origins. It all leads you back to your interconnectedness to all things. It's like you are showing your way through the form of another, and this could be to places, it could be opportunities, it could be things. There is something around that. You're so in tune, just the way that you move through this existence. So yeah, Treasure Island talks about the law of attraction, bringing dreams into fruition, the results of positive thinking made manifest, abundance appearing as if from nowhere, financial gains, and sharing of good fortune. So you worked hard, you've acted upon something with unwavering belief in abundance, and suddenly in the midst of it all, you hit the jackpot. Okay. You have uncovered the map to bury treasure and tapped the unlimited potential within you. What you must hone in now is your ability to recognize when X marks the spot, because some of these golden opportunities may be obvious, but others not so readily apparent. And I just feel as if there's definitely this cryptic language that you have decoded. It is almost like a Morse code that you have with the universe, where you're gonna definitely not be understood with everyone. It's almost like this is Pluto as a person is someone that follows the thread. It's like they follow the thread. This is Alice following the white rabbit through Wonderland, and no one else can see the the rabbit. This is Neo wandering through the Matrix. It's like, if you think about even our neocortex, it's just the way that you kind of discern information and perceive this this third dimensional reality with your five senses. It's just completely immersive. And it's very, very interesting. It's like you're completely immersed in this experience, but you realize that it's not that you're chasing the treasure in some way or something external, but it's almost as if it's there waiting to be discovered. And it's almost like it's finding you, because Pluto is a magnet. So this is something that is literally you. I'm hearing you're the center point of attraction here. This is something that's in your orbit already, okay, and will collapse into your reality. It's not that you collapse into an external reality, it's that reality collapses around you, okay? So this is like a very strong energy and essence. It's like you're pulling this forth from the cosmos. That's definitely an energy that's coming through. Like you're an anchor in a lot of ways. So yeah, this talks about don't forget to enjoy it, especially if it comes to prosperity. The message is at this time you can be confident that success is yours. Your ideas are all hitting the mark, and when you're in a true, I'm hearing season of manifestation, then you will see evidence of the seeds of prosperity that you planted in the past. The appearance of this card in a reading indicates that your dreams and aspirations align with concrete signs of prosperity in the world of form. This is a very auspicious and fortunate time for business. Creative projects will flourish as inspiration strikes. This could be like downloads that you're receiving as well with Pluto. Pluto could also be deeply embedded within your psyche, right? So this could be messages from dreams, messages just from deep meditation, right? Going into altered states of consciousness. I'm kind of seeing that being shared with Neptune right now. But yeah, share your wealth with others too. Generosity and gratitude should lead you now. And your Kippa's messages are pathway. Okay, so a new path is opening up for you. Again, yellow butterfly is all about transformation and change. Poverty reverse is saying that there is really no more room to grow in through a certain way of doing things. Okay, poverty reverse definitely feels like there is a situation that you're wanting to eject yourself from, or something that you feel like you may even be ejected right from, or rejected from, but that rejection is protection and redirection. And there's something about you being redirected right now and following that thread, because after that you have wealthy man. This could be someone external or just like a level of wealth and abundance that you're going to be experiencing in the physical plane with the masculine. And then you have courtship and courthouse. So it's almost as like you're going to be making a decision. And I feel like this is almost the connection between your physical and non-physical aspect, right? When we're talking about the masculine and feminine with courthouse, it's almost like it's like you're having a meeting, right? It definitely reminds you of a calling that you're going to be receiving, and it's not a conference call, so you can't expect everyone to understand what it is that you're going to be briefed towards. I'm hearing to like, yeah, to what it is that you're going to be briefed towards. That's interesting wording. So this is definitely like some kind of physical movement that's required on your end in the physical, like physically aligning your actions accordingly with an internal knowing that you have. And it's going to turn out absolutely beautifully for you. That's why I can say for sure. And that's just something that you need to know. But yeah, it's very, very interesting. And this is what's about going to transpire in your life, because chronostasis is not just an energy, it's not just a concept, it's not just a person, but it's also an event that takes place in your life as a mirrored reflection of who you are. Okay. So because of who you are, chronostasis is literally an event that pulls somebody out of their reality. So it literally feels like a new reality is going to be pulled, literally and placed, I'm hearing, beneath your feet. Okay, that's definitely an energy that's coming through, and it's something that's deeply shocking, as an archetype. It's sudden transformation that begins to occur in your life. So these are events that are going to be head turners. The example of like a sudden transformation is somebody who was always underestimated and then suddenly emerges as, the underdog. This is where you become, it reminds me of a reading that I did a while ago, and it talks about, oh yeah, where the underdog becomes the goat, right? So it's almost like there is like a level of being underestimated, right? Because when Pluto was no longer considered part of the solar system, it's almost like people just considered him an outcast, but he actually built this beautiful soul tribe. That's what the card talks about, with like Mick and Humea and all of these other kind of dwarf planets, right? They're also known as outcasts. So there could be something about like, this is where the outcasts like reunite. I don't know. There's just something interesting there that's going to be going on. But yeah, this is something that suddenly emerges. It's like the ugly duckling kind of energy, and it just feels like a sudden glow up. Or I'm hearing the emergence of a new you. It's somebody who has this beauty, they have this brilliance, they have a total glow up, and it's something that's public, or it's like a huge awakening. It's like an unveiling that happens, right? Somebody that kind of disappears and then reappears, but completely unrecognizable. And the effect that this has on those around you is almost like time stops, right? Because they have to recalibrate. Who are you? Like, who is this person? Wait, their point of reference for you has completely shifted, because the last time they saw you, they saw maybe this, right? And then the next time they see you, they see this. Unrecognizable, right? So I'm hearing like that's a lesson within itself. But it's a literally glitch in the matrix, because nobody saw it coming. So that's the first message of chronostasis. To the outside world, it appears like you've teleported, it appears like things have just happened out of the blue. But for you, with a time dilation bubble, there's going to be like very particular set of steps where you've seen all the work that's happened in the background, and that's just going to be evident in what's going to be, I'm hearing, readily available for the world to see, but nobody has seen the work that you've done internally. Okay, that's definitely an energy that's coming through. So it is like a prophetic moment or statement, right? It's a moment where things pause. Maybe it's even like a truth bomb. It's a download that you receive as well, where there's like a spontaneous prophecy, or there's like a vision that you have. That's like another energy, but it's a conversation that cracks open a new reality. And this could be a conversation that you're having with your own soul, you know, it could be a conversation that you're having with your guides, you know. This is like the layer between realms becomes very, very thin, right? It's the veil between worlds, and your consciousness kind of drifting back and forth and retrieving information, and then you acting upon that information. So yeah, it's an aura that's uncanny. It's an aura of beauty, mystery, and yeah, it's a different kind of presence. So yeah, something that you're doing could also be disruptive, but there's also like a level of, again, hypnotic fascination or more questions than answers, you know. But you could be someone that acts as a cata- ca- catabolic parabolic conversion. That's interesting. So you could definitely be a walking butterfly effect. That's definitely an energy that's coming through as well. But yeah, you act as a catalyst, right? It's like you play the role of the catalyst in others' lives. Mercury still retrograde. Catalytic, 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 catalytic. You act as a catalytic role in others' lives, playing the role of the awakener. You know, this is where, again, just your presence is something that warps time. You know, you could shift somebody's worldview and then just completely vanish, making them question if you were ever really there. That's it's just like the energy is like, did I actually meet that person, or did I dream that I met them? You know, it's a moment in someone's life where they say meeting you changed everything forever. Like, I can't unsee what it is I've seen, you know? It's almost like you ask someone, are you ready? You know, how, to what extent are you ready to meet yourself? To what depth are you ready to meet yourself? It's definitely a Morpheus red pill or blue pill moment. And if you choose to take that red pill, well, there's just no going back to the way that things once were. Like, you pull the wall away from someone's eyes that has had them under this veil of Maya, and they begin to step into a more luminescent existence in the realms of Leela, right? Divine play in your own creation, and witnessing and remembering yourself go through that transformation to step into becoming a sovereign creator once again, and really just remembering yourself as you've always been a sovereign creator, but you're remembering it for the first time. But yeah, you act as that almost spiritual guide. It's like, again, you could be a trigger point. That's really what it is. Oh, I just got the best analogy for the impact that you have on those around you. And it reminds me of the quote of, you cannot talk to a well frog about the ocean, for he is bound by the conditions of his environment. And the environment being the mind, okay? And the mind being limited by not who you are, but who you think that you are. Okay, I'm hearing, and your reality not being limited by who you are, but who you think you are. And there's almost like an internal storm that you create within others, and it's a disrupting their comfort zone that they've created. Okay, maybe it's certain belief systems that I'm hearing have kind of been tucking their true self away, because I'm seeing somebody kind of being tucked in by like a blanket, and blankets in the metaphysical realm usually represent something that they've been, you know, comforting. Maybe it's a belief system that has given them, you know, warmth or comfort, but there is a discomfort that you make others feel within what used to be their comfort zone, and that discomfort eventually surpasses the comfort that they once had. So I see you as like this character that comes up to the well, And it's like you sit on the well's edge and you see the frog at the bottom, and you're kind of speaking to the frog, and you're like, there's so much more out there, in the sea. You should see the ocean. There is no ocean. The ocean does not exist, right? And this is about a sea of possibilities, infinite possibilities that are readily available for you. And you're like, well, it will be ready. It will be here, when you're ready to see. And it's almost as if your words continue to echo throughout the frog's mind, long after you're gone. And to the point where it gets really hot in the well one day, right? Things really start heating up, and the well has run dry. There is no more water there. And in the subterranean depths of the frog's heart, there is a spring oasis that's near. There is a spring oasis that they feel this interconnectedness to. It's an indescribable feeling, and they start feeling really uncomfortable. Things really start building up, and this is about truth, the truth of the nature of this reality, the nature of existence that cannot be avoided. You cannot run from it, because you cannot run from yourself, right? So the energy that's coming forward is like, yeah, it gets so hot there that it's like walking through a barren, dry, like desert, and that there's like, it's almost like you are a mirage, right? It's almost like the moon and the Pluto energy I'm seeing for you, where the moon card in the Cosmos Visions Oracle message is almost like a light being on the other side of the bridge, and it is your future self, right? It is like your higher self, and it's almost like you are almost like a mirage, It's almost like, did I dream that conversation? It's like, what happened? Anyway, what I'm seeing is like, long after you're gone, the echo of your words continue to run through someone's head until they listen, and then they actually understand, right? Not only do they, it's like they already understand, but after they take action towards it and they apply and embody this lesson or this teaching or this knowing, or yeah, this vibrational essence that you've transmitted with photon, this light, this truth that you've transmitted, it's absorbed once they're receptive to it. And oh, what was the energy that was coming through? Anyway, they finally hear you. And not just hear, but they finally listen. And they can finally see what it is that you were showing them. But you're already long gone after this has happened. So it's like you continue to echo throughout space and time. Okay, it's like your words continue to ripple through the space-time continuum long after you've said them. And I don't even know if you're aware to the degree that this impact is something that you are designed to instill. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. And eventually the frog gets out of the well, gets out of old limited belief systems, right? And it's like, you are only limited by your beliefs. Those are the limitations that you set upon yourself. And you make, I don't know, just the frog question why he's staying in the well when it's already run dry. So that's the best analogy. I don't know that I literally actually stopped this reading and I went inside, and then I was seeing like this analogy in my mind, and I was like, I have to hop back on here because it's so great for this message. But yeah, that's the impact that you have. So but anyway, that's gonna be it for today. Yeah, that's gonna be it, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. It was definitely a huge pleasure to do. There's definitely a lot orbiting around you, so I definitely wanted to get like a well-versed all aspects or perspectives kind of view, just because I feel like there's a lot that you're going through right now and a lot that you're going to be undergoing. Pluto is like a rite of passage moment, and I'm hearing you're going to be recalling your most noble, the noblest, boldest moments of your life. And I'm hearing specifically like a reclamation. So there's something that you're going to be reclaiming. And I feel like this is a treasure that you buried for yourself. Okay, so this is like something that you've intended to experience as a soul seeded onto this planet, experiencing growth through this vessel. So until next time, If you guys are not already subscribed to the channel, do consider subscribing. We'd love to have you around. Personal reading details also down below. Also, check out Auto Spirit if you guys are looking for some high quality AA grade jewelry. We have Kunzite, which is a self-love stone, moonstone, and rainbow moonstone, which are intuitive stones as well that we're working with today. And I'll speak to you very, very soon. Yeah, I'm gonna put something in the system. If you guys have made it to this point, put down below an emoji that you feel like is representative of Pluto or it's representative of yourself. Is it the phoenix rising from the ashes, right? Is it I don't know, what is it? Is it the psychic energy? You know, is it like the third eye? Like, what is it for you? Is it the rabbit hole? What is Pluto? Who are you? And yeah, until next time, bye.